What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's Ace Poker. I got Borgata in the background. We're playing 2-5 today. I'm going to keep the intro nice and short. If you guys are new here, I'm 21 years old. I'm new to all this. I'm doing this all by myself, filming, editing, posting. I would appreciate a like, a subscribe. Thank you guys for checking out the channel, and I hope you guys love the hands. Let's get right into it. Alright, for the very first hand, we look down at the ladies, pocket queens. We are in the hijack. There's one limp in middle position. I raised it to $20. Definitely should make it 25, maybe 30, but it's the first hand I play, so a little out of it. But the small blind and the hijack decide to call. So we're headed 3 ways to a flop, which is very sketchy in 7 of hearts, 8 of hearts, 10 of diamonds. This smashes the small blind and even the middle position limping range. They could have plenty of 10-9, 7-8, 8-9, Jack-9, Jack-10. But when they both check to me, I see bet for $55. We do not have the queen of hearts, so we could size up a little bit, targeting heart draws, any top pair holdings. The small blind calls, and the middle position player folds. So we're heads up to a turn, which is a complete brick, the 3 of spades. Small blind checks again, and now I double my bet, making it $110. The small blind now thinks for about 45 seconds, which is a long time in live poker. I sped the clip up in the background so you guys could see just how long it was, but I'm honestly very confused when she's thinking for this long. I'm not really quite sure what this means, but when the small blind ends up calling, I know I'm most likely good. Looking to fade any heart, any 10, any 9, any jack, any 6. Not many good cards I want to see. It comes a king of diamonds. Yes, it's an overcard to our pair, but nothing to be worried about in my opinion. As I pause the video, I want you guys to comment below what you guys would do. Would you bet small? Would you check back? Would you bet a normal sizing? Or would you go massive? This is a specific spot that I wanted to work on, as in my last vlog I decided to check back 9s on the river. I for sure should have gone for value then. Let's see what I do here. So here I decided to bet $225. My heart is pounding. I'm extremely nervous. Did I make the right decision? Did I go for value in the right spot? Am I going to get check raised? Small blind calls pretty quickly. I flip over queens and we're good. So it looks like the small blind got speculative, maybe with a 9-10, ace-10, jack-10, anything like that, but I'm happy I decided to go for value and we scoop in the pot. Like I said, I wanted to make a massive note of this, as in order to make more money, you need to go for thin value on these rivers, especially when a card comes out that is not really too scary. You need to be thinking out your situations, thinking about what your opponent can have, and go for thin value. Obviously, if I got raised, it's a pretty easy fold, but you need to go for the thin value, and I learned because last vlog I should have went for thin value with 9s on the river and I decided to check back. I was scared. You need to go for thin value, stop playing scared, and we're on to the next. I moved to a different seat for a better view for you guys, and almost an hour has gone by, so when we pick up king 9 suited in the small blind and under the gun only makes it $15, we complete for practically $10 more since I already had a 5 chip out there, and we're headed 3 ways to a flop in which we smash. We flop top pair and the flush draw, the second nut flush draw. I check, under the gun bets 15, and under the gun plus 1 pretty quickly calls. So I decide to raise this up to $80. I like to play my flush draws pretty aggressively. My kicker is practically irrelevant, so I'm practically just playing this as a flush draw. I'm curious what you guys would do in this situation. Obviously there's merit to just calling, as if we hit our flush or 2 pair we could win a huge pot, but I decide to raise. Under the gun pretty quickly folds, and under the gun plus 1 tanks for about 45 seconds real time and then decides to call. So I'm not really sure what card I'm looking to fade here. It looks like my opponent has some type of king 10, king jack hand. I think king queen, ace king, and ace queen would raise, so let's see what the turn brings. A spade would be nice, maybe 2 pair, and that's what we get as it comes to 9 of hearts. But the most obvious draw in jack 10 gets there, as we pretty much have spades locked up. My opponent only has about a pot size bet left, so I decided to just jam it all in there, and he snap calls. Please take a moment to look at the top of the screen and just watch what my opponent does. Yeah, he sticks his chips in there faster than I can even get mine in there. It's pretty obvious he's got jack 10. I ask him once or twice, he just holds up that 1 finger. I say, I assume you have jack 10.
I assume you have jack 10. That's just awesome.
He flips it over, jack 10 offsuit. So, we need some help. Again, should I be corny and ask you to hit the like button? Nah, I'm not going to do that. But we do need to see a king, a 9, or any spade. I put the percentages up here on the screen for you guys to see. We've got a 27.27% chance to win. Can we get there? Can we get there? We don't. The queen of clubs. Yeah, that's a little frustrating. Thankfully, he didn't have more behind, because if he had like a $600 or $700 stack, he could have just raised if I bet the turn, and that would have been disgusting. So we only lose about maybe $300 in the hand, and we're on to the next. We proceed to have death by pocket pair, 6, 7s, and 8s. We call some raises, don't make any sets, and have to fold through. So we resort to taking a cool video of our chips. Some more time passes, and we finally get a playable hand in ace queen offsuit. Under the gun, who's a loose opponent, makes it $20, and I 3-bet him to $80, and he decides to make a call. I saw him open some crazy hands earlier, so let's try to hit a good flop. But it does come one of the best looking boards without specifically hitting an ace or a queen, and the reason for this is he should not have any strong hands on this board. He sure would continue with 5s, 6s, and 7s, but a few barrels might be able to get him off that. He checks, and I decide to continue for $80. I would expect him to continue with a large range of hands here, even Jack 10, Queen 10, King Queen, especially since I said he was loose. So when he decides to make the call, I don't put him on anything really big just yet. I don't have any time to think about whether I'm going to have to barrel later streets, as we hit an ace right away. He checks, and now I decide to do something a little bit sneaky and check back. There's a few reasons for this, as he'll definitely take this check as super weak. Maybe he'll think that I've got a hand such like 10s, jacks, queens, kings, anything that does not like the ace. I'm telling you, a lot of people in live poker take checks as super weak, so I love this play here. We see a beautiful 6 of hearts on the river, and he checks for a third time. Now, I'm in value mode, and I bet $150. My opponent tanks for quite some time. As you see, I fast forward the clip here, and decides to call. We flip over ace queen, and he frustratingly throws his chips in the middle, so it looks like he might have had one of those hands like 5s, 7s, maybe an 8, 8, 9, 8, 10, something like that. He definitely would raise those under the gun, so I'm not ruling that out, just pure position. But I do think my check got me an extra $150 here. Again, who knows what would have happened if I would have bet the turn. Maybe he would have called and I would have got more on the river. But as played, I really love the line I took here. I'm curious what you guys think, and we're on to the next. Finally, we pick up aces. Under the gun +1 opens to 20. I've been 3-betting a lot of ace queen, ace king, jack 10 suited, hands like that, and now we finally have a big hand. We 3-bet to $80. I'm hoping he's got a big one. I'm hoping he'll put in a 4-bet. At least he'll call. Let's play a big pot. I've yet to have an aces versus kings all in pre-flop at the casino. Unfortunately, nothing here. Sucks we waited about 3 hours for aces here and got no action, but we're on to the next. In this hand here, we pick up 8-9 of clubs in under the gun +1 and decide to open for $20. The middle position and the hijack decide to call, so we're headed 3 ways to a flop, which comes ace, 6, 7, which is actually a good flop in 2 different dimensions. One, for my range and under the gun +1, I'll have all of the aces, but for my actual hand, I have a very disguised open-ended, as if we hit a 10 or a 5, my opponents will never see it coming when I have the straight. I decide to c-bet for $55, middle position instantly folds, and the hijack decides to make the call. Not quite sure what type of hand to put him on yet, but let's see a turn. Looking to improve, which we don't. It comes the 7 of diamonds, which puts a second flush draw out there. While the guy to my left is having a little bit of trouble stacking his chips, I'm trying to decide what I want to do here, if I want to check or if I want to continue betting and telling the story that I have an ace. I decide to continue for $125. My opponent looks at his cards for a long time. I have no idea what he's doing, but then he decides to throw in $125 in the most disinterested way ever. I always preach live tells. This is screaming weakness, either a flush draw that he feels compelled that he has to call, some kind of weak ace, potentially bottom pair with a flush draw, something that he feels that he's forced to call with. I already know in my head I'm bombing the river. Maybe we can get there? We don't. It comes the queen. I have to follow with my plan here. He's very disinterested. He does not have a strong hand. I bet out $270. Time to sweat this out. I'm very nervous. Please fold. Please fold. Please fold. With how the hand played out, what do you guys think he has? Do you guys think he has a missed flush draw? Do you think he has a weak ace? Is he going to call? Is he going to fold? Is he going to take a stand? What do you think's going to happen? He calls. Obviously we lose, but he flips over ace 4 offsuit. I knew he was weak, but that sucks. I definitely should have checked back the turn in hindsight, as people don't really like to fold when the board pairs and doesn't really change anything. In all of my live play so far, I've definitely come to conclude that people will not fold their weak aces, which sucks because I wish I had a value hand here such as ace king, ace queen, but I guess not the worst call in the world, as with the 7 pairing his kickers improved to a queen. So he's chopping with mostly all aces besides ace queen and ace king. But it looks like the OMCs are out to get us. As I said, I don't like playing with them in my last video. They're out to get me, and we're on to the next. 2 shuffles later, we pick up ace 10 of diamonds in under the gun position. We raise it to $20 and 3 people call, including my nemesis, the OMC nemesis. Can we get our money back? Let's find out. Like I said, the small blind and big blind call, so we're gonna head 4 ways to a flop. Let's see a good one. We need a good one. We see a very good flop in 10-9-2, in which we flop top pair, top kicker. The small blind and big blind snap check. I bet out for $50. And now my nemesis raises to $125. This is a gross spot, and as I said, he's an OMC, older gentleman, so don't think he's bluffing, but I level myself into a call, tilting, not the best play. I also knocked over my phone, so the rest of the hand will come in this screen, but I'm going to finish it fast. The turn comes in 8 of diamonds, I check in flow, he bets 125 again, and I call. Now the river comes a jack, a horrible card, I check, he snap checks back, flips over 9-10, just what I thought. Honestly, if I didn't just bluff away all my money in the last hand, I would have just folded the flop, as the OMC is never going to be raising a flush draw, never going to be bluffing, so you definitely 100% should fold this flop. I should have. I tilted, and that's how bluffing and throwing away money can just snowball into bad decisions, so don't bluff, don't piss away your money, and just play standard. Alright, this is the craziest hand of the night for sure. We pick up queens, and the middle position player just raises it to $50. For reference, the standard open is $25 to $30. Nobody's even hit 40. Nobody's really even done 35, so 50 is insane. I have to 3-bet here though. I make it $200. He only started the hand with roughly $600, so looking to get it all in, and he jams, so that's awesome. We snap call, but what happens next I was not expecting. He flips over king queen offsuit. This is just about the best scenario. We just have to fade a king. Obviously, he could hit a straight. Not very likely. We just have to fade a king. Let's go to 2 runouts, and we fade both. We scoop $1,200, much needed. It was a gift from the poker gods. As a sort of payback from the bluff, we learned our lesson. We're not going to bluff against OMCs anymore, and we take down a massive pot to end the night. We had a great session. Our final stack is at 1670. As you see, we color up to all blacks, all $100 chips. They did not have any $1,000 chips in the rack, but that's okay. As you see, my last 3 sessions here, all profitable. We're up over $2,500 in just 3 sessions at Borgata. Definitely going to keep coming back here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day, and as always, enjoy. Oh yeah, and if you haven't, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment for me. It'll help the video blow up. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks so much.